Unless that was that what that noise was? Would that be what that noise
No,
was?
it kind of.
I looked for it, but I didn't. Oh, I
Okay,
do have it.
thanks.
Okay.
Okay.
Want me to shut it off? Is that
If
what
you
you're
don't
saying?
mind.
Yeah, no problem.
Just for now.
He changed the ringer yesterday, so I didn't even recognize my own phone.
Okay.
There. Just want to make sure it turns on. There we go.
Okay. All right. So today's date is the 30th of March, 2009. My name is Allison Rains, and I'm with the Sault Ste. Marie Police Service, and my partner's name is Kevin Dukes of the Sault Ste. Marie Police Service. He's next door.
Mm-hmm.
I would ask you to acknowledge that you understand that this statement is being video and audio taped and that you consent to such a tape being made. Is that all right?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. Christina, as you're aware, we are investigating an allegation of assault and sexual assault. As part of our investigation into that offense, we would like to interview you. Your statement is an important part of our investigation. We would like to speak to you about this offense on video and under oath, and that is why we've asked you to come here today. Now, this is our Commissioner of Oath, and she's just going to read a few things to you, okay?
Oh, okay. Hi.
My name is Mela. As the police have explained, your statement to them is an important part of their investigation. You should understand that it is a serious criminal offense to make a false statement to the police, to wrongly accuse someone of a crime, or to cause the police to enter into an investigation of another person. You should also understand that it is a serious offense to make an affidavit that is false. If you later give sworn evidence that is different from what you swear to today, that could be another offense. Your statement today might be used against you if you are ever charged with one of these offenses. Do you understand
Yes.
this caution?
No.
Okay, Christina, you believe in God?
Yeah.
Just have you swear to this, okay?
Okay.
Do you, Christina Olson, swear that the evidence that you shall give on this investigation shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Okay, time is 11:35.
Left a little bit of a sweaty palm.
It gets warm in here too,
Yeah.
so. Okay,
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
thanks, Mela.
You're welcome.
Okay, so you understand what this is all about then?
Mhm.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I've been through this before.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. Like I explained earlier, my partner Kevin and I, we've been assigned to follow up with this investigation.
Okay.
So, just for the record, because anybody viewing this wouldn't know that we were at your place earlier.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So, I think it was around 10 o'clock this
Yeah.
morning.
About that.
We
yeah.
came to your house and you agreed to come up to the station and we picked you up, brought you here.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any conversation about what had occurred on the way up to the station?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right. So we're here today. We're at the Sault Ste. Marie Police Station. It's the 30th of March and it's about almost 11:40. And this room, as I said earlier, is video and audio tape, so it picks up everything. And Kevin will take notes, and if there's something that I've missed.
He's on the other side of the
Exactly.
camera. Okay.
So I'm gonna let you start wherever you think it's important to start. I know that there was an incident early this morning between you and your common law, right? Your common law?
Yes.
Okay. And that's Vincent Schiele, right?
Schiele, yeah.
Okay. And your full name is?
Christina Jane Olson.
Okay. And your birthday?
July 27th, 1971.
Okay. And your address?
611B Placid.
Okay. And when you say 611B,
That's the basement apartment.
Okay.
There's it's a duplex. There's
Okay.
the upstairs neighbor, and then we have a 3-bedroom apartment in the basement.
okay. And when you say we, who is
Vincent and I.
Vincent and I?
And Michaela, my
Okay.
daughter as well.
And how old is Michaela?
She's 13 months.
13 months?
Mhm.
Okay. And that's who's living there on an ongoing basis?
Yeah, we also have his son on every second weekend during school, and we have him all summer.
Okay. So I understand that the police were called to your residence this morning,
Mm-hmm.
and maybe you can start from there how that happened.
Well, everything had stopped by that point, and
Okay.
he had fallen asleep, and I just had enough time to really reflect on what had occurred,
Mhm.
and looking at my daughter, I know she doesn't. She deserves better.
Mhm.
It's important to have a father in your life, but not if he's hurting your mom. But anyway, then he had fallen asleep, and
Maybe you can start from the very beginning.
from the very beginning,
From where everything started.
Well, it actually started Friday night.
Okay.
He didn't come home. It was the first time he ever went out. He went for a business meeting in the early evening.
Okay.
He said he would call me and tell me how it went, and I was getting Michaela's pictures done at Cabana that night. So I never heard from him. I called his cell phone a bunch of times. I was angry to begin with because I thought he was out drinking. But then by about 4:30, 5:30 in the morning, I hadn't slept yet, and I didn't know where he was, and he wasn't answering the phone. Like usually, like he pulled it once before that he didn't come home, but he called.
Mm-hmm.
So I assumed the worst. I thought something had happened to him. I actually phoned here to see if he'd been admitted, and I didn't phone the hospital right away, but because they probably would have recognized him. My mom works in Emerge. So anyway, I finally did get a hold of him. I told him I wasn't going to be angry when he came home. We had to talk about it because it was unacceptable behavior, that no one should treat anybody else like that I deserve at least a phone call. He'd been doing drugs and drinking all night and was too ashamed to show his face at home, basically. So anyway, he slept all day. I canceled shopping with my mom because I didn't want him watching the baby. And his son was coming later that afternoon. So he did come, but Vince just basically slept all Saturday. Sunday I got up, I went and got groceries with my mom because we don't have a vehicle. She brings me to go there, and we do, the little shopping thing. And the second I walked in the house, he was on Messenger messaging someone. So I said, you can get off Messenger and stop making plans. Let me at least put the friggin' groceries away before you take off with your loser friends. So then I realized he was leaving, and I said, so that's it. You think that just because you work and I'm a stay-at-home mom that you get to have all the freedom you want, and I'm chained to this basement like a bomb shelter. And I said, your son is here to visit not just me and Michaela, but to visit you too. And he has seen nothing but the back of your head sleeping on the couch or sleeping in bed. He keeps asking me, when's Dad going to do something with me? I said, what kind of an example are you setting for your son? And what kind of a father are you being? Well, I was yelling at him. And I don't usually yell in front of the kids like that, but I had just had enough. It had been too many things in a row. And he wasn't showing any kind of, no emotion whatsoever, almost like I was the one who was out of line. So he ended up taking his son with him because I at least got that far with him. So anyway, he was a couple of doors down, and he was playing video games with his friend and a teenager with his friend, and his son was there. And I called over there to tell them that supper was ready because I'd made supper and got everything all ready, and just Isaiah came over. So I phoned Vince and I said, and Isaiah had mentioned, I said, what are they doing? Playing video games. I said, are they drinking beer? And he said, no. I said, what are they drinking? And he said, pop. And I know they don't drink pop. So I knew they were drinking hard alcohol. And that had been, that's something that just recently started getting reintroduced into our life. Before it was forbidden. I didn't allow it anywhere near the house because he has a tendency to drink too much too fast, and he's unpredictable. So anyway, at the end of that conversation, I said to him, he said, well, do you want me to come home? And I said, well, yeah, it would be nice to see you before you go back to work for the next 5 days. I haven't seen you at all. Let's have a nice family dinner, So anyway, he came over and brought Adam with him, and they just sat while the kids ate and stuff. It was pretty normal, just a couple casual drinks. They weren't out of hand, inebriated or anything. And then continued to drink, and I put Michaela in bed, gave her a bath, gave her her bottle, went to bed, and then we were just all kind of sitting around and drinking, and just, I don't know, just, like I didn't really feel like doing it, but you know, I'd rather have him doing it at home than off doing whatever, you know, like I just, he's been very difficult to control lately, and I can't, you know, you can't control someone else. Anywho, he, at one point, like, the night was getting late, Adam wanted to go home, but Vince convinced him to come in for another drink, and we sat down on the couch, and before I went outside for a cigarette with Adam, and on my way out the door he said, make sure you lure him back in. And I looked at him and I was like, what are you talking about? He has a really thick German accent, and sometimes he doesn't get words right. And I said, what are you talking about? Adam's your friend or whatever. And he says, just make sure he comes back in. I'm like, whatever. You know, I just thought he'd had too much to drink and he was, you know. So I went outside, had a cigarette with Adam, and then came back downstairs and sat on the couch, and Vince looked over to me and he said, give him a hand job. I looked at him and I'm like this isn't like something that he's ever said, and it's like completely inappropriate, and I don't know where he got it. I thought he was, at this point I'm like, what are you on? Like, are you on something? But he kept saying that, and I'm like, you absolutely disgust me. I can't even believe that you would talk to me like that in front of your friends. It's disgusting. So I went outside for another cigarette. I just got out of the, you know, I couldn't believe that someone who's supposed to respect and love me could even think of talking to me like that. It was disgusting. So anyway, I went upstairs, and as I was going upstairs, Adam was coming up and Vince was coming up, and then something, just all of a sudden there was like chaos in the back hallway. I don't exactly know what happened. I just know that I got knocked to the side. I hit my head pretty hard on the step and went down, and I lay there. You know what I mean? Like I lay there kind of to scare him, because I wanted him to see, like, you know, that he could have really hurt me. So I just lay there, and when he came over, and like he started shaking me and knocking me around and stuff, not out of concern, like he was pissed off at me because he's like, stop playing your stupid game. So anyway, then he started, then he told Adam, he said, go, don't tell any, like, you never saw anything or whatever, just go. So he left, and he didn't even take his boots with him. I noticed they're still in my back hallway. And so Vince was going, I could hear him picking up the cell phone and talking to someone, but the door was shut to the apartment, so I couldn't hear who he was talking to and stuff. But he came out, checked on me again, and then he put a blanket over my head or something. Like, I had my eyes closed. I didn't want him to see me looking around or anything. So then he came and he ripped my clothes off. Like, my chain went flying off my arm, and so I was like lying naked. He dragged me into the apartment, and that's when he took we have this foot powder thing, and he like shoved it, like, I don't know what hole he was aiming for, but he hit one of them. And that's when I woke up. Like, I said, I'm not playing dead anymore, because like, I don't know what else he's gonna do to my friggin' body. So then we got at it. He threw me on the couch and he started slapping me, like big, you know, like that kind of slap, you know, the backhand. But he's 6'6" and like a good build. And I started crying and just telling him to stop. He was gonna wake up the neighbors and the baby and whatever. And I said, and then he, like, I don't know, he went on the computer or something. I'm not sure exactly what happened at this point. It was all kind of like it was like it wasn't happening, you know. So I said, I'm just going to bed. Stay away from me. Don't come near me. And I went and I lay in the kids' room on Isaiah's bed, and he came in shortly after and lay beside me and held me. Like, I don't know. not just to control or whatever. It wasn't out of regret for the night, for the evening's events. And so I lay there and I waited for him to go to sleep, and I just kind of assessed the whole night and decided that I couldn't wake up the next day and just pretend that nothing happened. You know, that he'd crossed the line. He hurt me. I don't want my daughter I don't want her to be in some kind of cycle of abuse. I want her to have a good, solid foundation, happy life. I don't want her to know anything about adult issues until she's an adult, if I can help it, you know? So I went and I called the police, and I thought I heard him move. And I thought if he heard me on the phone, it would just escalate it, because he doesn't want police involved in anything. We already went through this a while ago. He went through freedom of abuse, and I went to the victims crisis, like all the counseling and stuff too. And he was doing so well. Like, honestly, he's been a great man and a great dad. It's just the last month or so he's been saying his life is boring, and he wants more excitement, and he's been drinking heavily and getting into drugs and stuff, and it's just been snowballing out of control. And because of my family disowned me when I went back with them, my mom and I are still talking, but I didn't want her to know that there was anything. I don't want to worry her, you know. I thought I had it under control, because I would never have my daughter in like any kind of a dangerous, volatile kind of environment. You know, she's number one. I put her before anything. Anyway, I phoned the police, and I was really panicky. Thanks. I was really panicky because I was afraid he was going to wake up before they got there, and he'd know that I called them. So I went, and the baby was sleeping. She was okay, and I went and I waited in the back when the police came, and they took him home. And he was saying, "I don't know why you're coming to get me, officer." And I feel so bad. I feel guilty, and I know that's one of the things that's just natural, but I hate myself for it, because it's not my fault. But he never had to let it escalate to this point. I love him, you know? I'm the best thing for him. I could have given him like a good, stable, happy home. I just had I don't want to party all the time. I have a daughter to think of. I have a future to think of. I want bigger, better things than living in the basement of a duplex, you know? And I stopped working because I want her to have a good, solid foundation before, and then go back to work when she's in school. I kind of put everyone before myself. But you know, I'm happy being a mom and all that. And I did my best to hold the fort down, but it's been a slippery slope lately. I don't know why he's so resentful for me, you know. We used to party a lot when we first started going out a long time ago, and after the first incident where he hit me, that was left behind, and I said, that's it. Obviously the lifestyle is affecting our relationship, and you know, if your life is in chaos, chaotic things happen. So it was time to turn the page and, you know, put our feet straight on the floor and look ahead to a better life. But in the last little while, I don't know, he got a great job. He's doing great at it, making good money. Just got his contract renewed, but as soon as he's off work, he wants to be off drinking with his friends. Like, I'm lonely. I'm sitting, and I can't go anywhere with a baby, you know, and I don't want to. I'm quite happy at home. I never thought I'd say that. I used to be a social butterfly. I'm happy. I was happy being a mom. And I guess I don't know if there's any other details that you need to know. If there's...
Well, we'll go back over...
I guess I'm starting to ramble now.
No, that's okay. You said it kind of all started Friday, where he just kind of...
Well, I went with my mom to go get the Gavanna pictures done.
Yeah.
And we went for dinner, just got burgers and went to her house. And we were supposed to get Isaiah that night, so the plan was for me to be home in time so that his mom can drop him off. And he called me at my mom's house and said, never mind, Isaiah's staying at his friend's house. He's going to a sleepover and we get him tomorrow. And I said, okay. And it's just, he never calls my mom's house. And for him to even call, it was kind of weird. So it was an awkward kind of conversation. And I didn't ask, usually I'd say, okay, so what time will you be home? I'll meet you then. What are we going to do tonight? Blah, blah, blah. But, like, my mom doesn't really like him, and he doesn't particularly like her. I'm kind of like the tug-of-war rope. Yeah. And so it was just a quick, short conversation, and he had said that earlier that he'd call me after after he met with this woman about a website, because he's doing a side contract. He's a computer programmer. I didn't get that call, and I got home like 7:45, and by about midnight I was starting to get really angry, because I thought, he met this woman at the mall, so I knew he was downtown, so that was like, and it was payday, and like, he's done that before, but he calls me and he comes home just stinking drunk, which I wasn't up for anyway, but not abusive, no, just pathetically stinking drunk. And I thought that's what he was doing, but then he didn't call, he didn't answer any of my messages. I texted him a couple of times, and by about 4:35 in the morning I started getting really worried, because I didn't know where he was. I knew I had talked to a couple of people that hang out with him other than, outside of the house, and they hadn't, he was supposed to call them back too, and he didn't. So me thinking the best, I thought something happened to him, but it ended up that he was at some loser's house friggin' drinking and doing blow until he got the balls to call me at like 9 in the morning. Well, no, I got him on Messenger. I don't know, I don't even know the guy. I just know it's down by the bus terminal. Vince has a lot of friends that I won't allow in my house. I don't want any of that, the scum of the earth. I think he said Paul's cousin or something like that, but I don't even know who Paul, like, Paul is this guy that he knows from when he used to live in Steelton, and he goes over there and eats his lunch and stuff sometimes because he works near there. But no, I don't know Paul's last name. I don't even know where he lives. I just know it's like around the bus terminal somewhere. So yeah, I don't know where he was. I asked, like, I could tell when he got home that it wasn't just drinking, it was something else. I'm not stupid. I worked in the bars, and I'm not completely innocent either. I dabbled in the past. You know what I mean? Not that I'm proud of it, but I know all the signs.
So what time did you call a station?
Last night?
No, when he didn't come home. You said
I think it was about 8 in the morning. I just talked to, they transferred me at the desk, and I didn't file a missing persons or anything. I just talked to a woman on the phone, and I said, I don't want to be like a hysterical female and stuff. I said, but I'm actually really worried, because it's not that he's an angel or anything, but he always at least gives me a phone call.
Right.
And I just know that, like, there's a lot of seedy stuff that happens in the Sioux these days. I've heard a lot of like baseball batting and like there's an underground here that's pretty nasty and disgusting, and he knows some of those people. So I thought the worst. I didn't phone the hospital because my mom works in Emerge, and they would have recognized my voice because I sound just like her.
Okay.
But I know that they would have recognized him too if he came in. But he doesn't carry ID with him too, so that was my worry, that just something happened.
Okay. So going to last night, which is Sunday, you mentioned that you were going outside and he wanted you to lure Adam back in. Yeah, like he said the word lure. He said, make sure you're talking about Adam. What's Adam's last name?
Warren.
Okay. And who is he?
He's a friend of Vincent's that lives a couple doors down. Okay,
so he says lure him back in.
Lure him back in, yeah. Okay. I just thought he was being an idiot. you know, like sometimes he says inappropriate stuff and he doesn't get the word right because he's from Germany and he doesn't, you know, and I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't really even pay much attention to it, you know what I mean?
So you go out the side door.
Yeah, I went out the side door.
And you're having smoke out there?
Yeah, I don't smoke in the apartment.
You're with Adam. And do you convince him to come back in?
No, he was coming back in anyway.
He was going to come back
in. We were just going out for a cigarette.
Okay. So then you guys go back in.
And Adam sat in Vince's chair and Vince said, that's my chair. You can sit over there or whatever. And then Adam was like, I gotta go home. He had a cold and it was the first time that he'd like drank in a really long time, so he felt like it was hitting him a little bit harder than usual, and he didn't want to be sick again, so he's like, I gotta go. And Vince is like, no, you know, have another drink. Like he does that quite often with anyone, even if they only come for one, they always end up having to stay for two. You know, whatever. It's just the way he is. But anyway, and then he looked over at me and I, like 2 seconds later, said, give him a hand job. And I was just like the way I looked at him, like there was nothing alluring whatsoever about it. It was a disgusting, demeaning.
And what did Adam say?
Well, I don't know. I was dumbfounded that Vince would even say something like that. It was. I don't stand for that. Like I don't put up with that kind of bull.
So then what happens? Like, how does this altercation happen in the staircase again?
Well, we just then he said it again, and I was like, you know what, you're fucking disgusting. I said, I'm gonna go out for another smoke and whatever. Like I got angry and I just removed myself from the whole situation. I thought it was disgusting, and Adam said, I'm going to go out for a smoke too, or whatever. Like, I had just been out. Like, it was probably maybe 10 minutes or so. And I don't smoke that much, but I needed to just have a reason to go, and I didn't want to wake up the baby or anything, because when she's sleeping, I like to... Anyway, so I went upstairs, and that just... All of a sudden, I don't know I can't remember exactly what instigated the whole thing. But Vince came up the stairs, but he doesn't smoke.
He comes up the stairs with you and Adam?
Yeah, like
what order are they in?
Adam was first, and then I was second, and I think Vince like cut in front of me, or like that's when I fell, and
like, how did you fall? Like, describe.
Well, he grabbed at me, and he grabbed my shirt, and he was I don't know, it was like that.
Like if I'm watching from behind at the bottom of the stairs,
I don't know.
Going up,
you know what? It's like a small staircase. It was dark, and like
how many?
I didn't see it coming. I didn't see. Well, you came in my back stairs. There's probably about 10 stairs, I guess, to the downstairs.
Okay,
apartment.
So you're walking upstairs. Adam's in front of you, and he grabs you. You say.
Well, I don't know if I don't know exactly what happened. I just know all of a sudden there was chaos in the back. Like
where are you at this point?
I was falling down the stairs. Like I had my shirt wrapped around, and this, like, Vince obviously grabbed me and threw me around a bit, but I don't know, like, I don't know why. Like I don't know if I might have said some kind of a snarky comment because I was pissed off at him, and it was inappropriate for me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not one to just sit there and take that.
So
don't talk to me like that.
So describe to me what happens.
That's the thing. I don't know. I just all of a sudden, I'm like my sweater's up over my head, and I fall down on the stairs, and I landed on the bottom, kind of like down on my face. And at first I was like, you know what, I'm gonna show him, and look what happens. So I played, dead.
Okay.
To freak him out, basically.
So just so we get this straight, when you go in to your apartment and you enter from the side of the house, there's like a landing, and then there's like 3 stairs or whatever
that go up to the one lady's apartment. That's her side access, and that's locked. She never uses that except to do laundry. Okay. Because the laundry facilities are downstairs.
Right. And then you go down the stairs.
And then you go downstairs, and there's the laundry room, or you turn left, and then you go into my apartment.
Just a short little hallway.
It's a tiny little landing.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're telling me that that's where you landed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I was almost all the way up the stairs, but I went I went to the bottom.
Okay.
And when I landed, I basically just lay there with my eyes closed and whatever to freak him out. I wanted to scare him.
Right.
Because, and I was scared too, I guess. But so he came and he checked on me or whatever. And
what did he do?
He was just shaking on me, and then he started pulling at my clothes. And
do you remember what you were wearing?
Yeah, I was wearing my just a gray T-shirt and a black button-up sweater, it's like a coat sweater kind of thing, and my jogging pants, and I don't know where my other boot went. I don't know if I had.
So this is a sweater that you say he pulls over your head?
Yeah. It's actually it's all ripped and stuff.
Okay.
I went to put it on to wear it here, and it's wrecked. When I was in the morning before Michaela got up, I always have to make sure that it's baby proof, and there was a button and some glass on the floor, and so I had to clean up there. But then he grabbed my, I don't know, I'm lying there and I was trying to breathe really, really softly, because I knew that if he thought, I knew that it would piss him off if I was playing around. You know what I mean?
You're saying though he's checking on you.
Well, he kind of checked. He kind of just, he came down, and I was like, because he did hurt my throat in the meantime, my neck and stuff, and I was kind of, it felt like my trachea kind of moved a little bit,
Okay.
So I was lying there and I was breathing shallow, and I don't think he basically just turned to Adam and he said, go, you didn't see anything, just go home. And then he poked at me a bit, and he pulled at me, and then he put a blanket over my head, he put it you'd put over a dead body.
What kind of a blanket?
I don't know. I think it might have been his windbreaker, because I didn't see any blankets there. I didn't open my eyes. I kept my eyes closed the whole time, because if he saw me peeking, So I had my eyes closed the whole time, and then he basically went to pull me and pulled my shirt off.
Where is he pulling you at this point?
Into the apartment, out of the back landing.
Okay.
And
so how are you being dragged?
I was being dragged by my shirt that was up over my head, but it was caught in my armpit, and I've got big marks, all bad.
Yeah,
that's where I'm hurt the most. And he just kind of, and then, I was lying, and he started pulling the shirt off and stuff. I don't think he was even really saying anything. And then he pulled my pants off. And then he went away, and he let me lie there. And then he came back, and he had a powder bottle, a foot powder bottle, and he tried to shove it up my ass or my vagina. I don't know, but that's when I was like, I'm not faking it anymore. You don't do that, I don't know why he did it. I don't know if he was on something or what. He's not a sexually abusive kind of person. He's not he might drink too much and this and that and be it's a coldness, not when I get upset and say, this, I don't deserve to be treated like this and stuff. He's like, oh, women, they're, don't be, don't cry. I thought I was with a strong woman, that kind of stuff. But
so when you're,
and then that happened, and I think at that point I that's when I got up and I yelled, and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Just you disgust me. And I was naked. And I went and I sat on the couch, and I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe, I couldn't believe he did that, just, I needed a second to shake my head. And then he came in, and at this point, it's just all kind of a little bit of a blur, but I know, he hit me with the back of his hand twice on either side of my face. So my head, like, it went. And that's when I was, like, really scared. Because I thought, like, he was going to, like, he was getting, like, worse and worse. And I said, okay, that's enough. Let's just stop it, you know? And he did. And I don't know, like, I don't even know what he said at this point. Like, my mind just went numb. And I was thinking about Michaela in the other room and the neighbors. Like, I didn't want to, you know, wake everybody up in the neighborhood. So I went and I said, I'm just going to bed now. I was crying, and I went and I lay down in Isaiah's bed, and Michaela was in the crib beside me. And then shortly after, he came in, and I said, don't fucking touch me and whatever. And he just pulled me, like, right close to him and held me, like, super tight when I was lying there. And then he eventually passed out. And while I was going through everything in my head, I was like, I can't let this one go. And that's when I called 911.
So just to clarify, when he's taking your clothes off when you're on the floor, are you on your stomach or are you on your back?
I was on my stomach.
Okay. And where did you feel the object being inserted?
Right in my leg. Like, I was on my stomach and kind of on my side, and he rammed it.
Was it in your vagina or your rectum?
Kind of half, like, it was this big. It was like a foot powder bottle. It didn't go in anything, but I felt the ram, you know, like, I wasn't gonna.
Where did you feel it?
I know, I felt it. I thought he was trying to put it up my butt.
Okay. All right.
But he hit me a bit. Hit me a bit.
Is there any discomfort there now?
Yeah, a little bit. Like a I don't know, like a burn. Like, you know, when, I don't know if you have any kids. You know, when you have childbirth, and it's like rope burn kind of feeling. Yeah, that's it. But it's not anything major that I need, like, to be checked out or anything like that. No.
Okay.
I'm not injured.
When you said that he covered you up with something, that it could be a windbreaker or whatever, and you kept your eyes closed. Earlier on when you talked to me, you said that he was talking to somebody on the cell phone.
Yeah, he shut the door, and I could hear. Yeah, so I don't know who he was talking to on the phone, or if he even was talking to a machine or whatever. Right. I couldn't really hear, but
what phone was he using?
The cell phone. Okay. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. Like, I you know, I did hear the click of the cell phone, and I know that on the cell phone it did have a couple of phone calls out.
That's right.
But he was calling Amanda, and I don't know, like, that's weird. Like, I don't know.
Well, tell me about that.
Well, I don't know why he would call
Amanda?
her. Amanda is Adam, the guy who was there, his ex-girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's her last name?
Carr.
Okay.
Yeah. So
tell me about that. Like, tell me about how she fits into the equation.
Well, Vince used to hang out over at. She lives, like, over on Allard, and she was Adam's girlfriend, and he would take off and go and drink there.
Oh, okay.
Like, she goes to school and she has a baby, but she gets a sitter here and there, and Adam would be over there drinking, and Vince would go over there.
Oh, okay.
So I figured, you know what, if he's gonna be off doing whatever, I might as well meet this girl and, you know, see what the hell all this is about. And ended up, I liked her. Like, I got along with her really well, and our kids get along well, and I was gonna do her resume for her. She's just graduating from college right now. She's a young mother and stuff, but, you know, she's like a nice person. I get along with her.
So why do you think that he was calling her at that time?
I don't know. I don't know if it was because, I don't know. I have no idea.
Have you thought about that? Like,
yeah, it's just so, yeah, I don't know why he would be calling her. I know that he had been, like, she came over a couple of times with Jayla just to hang out, and he had it stuck in his head that there was going to be, like, a threesome and stuff. He's been like, his life is so boring and this and that, and he wants a little bit of this and that. And I'm like, sorry, then you're with the wrong person. If that's what's gonna fulfill you in your life, then go somewhere else, because I'm not doing it.
When was that brought up?
It was probably, let me see, a couple of weeks ago. He's had it stuck in his head, and it's been bothering
He's
me.
had the threesome stuck in his
Yeah,
head?
yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Well, how did it all come about? Like, what's
Well,
the
just I don't know.
change in him?
Well, he's just, I don't know. I would think that the drinking, like when he first got the job, he was, in every night pretty much, and just weekends he'd let loose a bit, but nothing major, like fine, like a few drinks. But lately, like in the last month or so, it's just he wouldn't tell me where he's going. I was like, well, it's really not fair that like I spend all my time at home doing all like my end of the deal. I want you home with me. Like isn't that what we're building towards? Like, isn't that what it's supposed to be? Oh, it's boring. It's boring. I'm like, it's not boring. It's life. You should be happy to be with a woman that loves you and a child that adores you and in a nice, clean home with gourmet meals. You know what I mean? Like I take my job, quote unquote, very seriously. I'm a perfectionist like you wouldn't believe. Not that you would have seen it today. It was kind of a mess,
Well,
but
that's understandable.
Yeah.
What other things? Is there anything that I haven't asked you that?
I don't know. I
should
just
be brought
lately
up?
it's just like when he didn't come home on Friday night. The first thing I said to him, I said, "Are you cheating on me?" Because I'd like to know. On a disease and whatever. And he's like, "No, no, no." And I said, "Well, then what are you doing that's so important that you can't even call me?" You know. I know he hasn't cheated on me, or I can't say I don't know, but he I think I burst his bubble because I think he brought Amanda over thinking that all this stuff was going to happen, but I ended up getting along with her and we made dinners together, you know what I mean? And so his little fantasy disappeared, eh?
Did she know about the fantasy?
Oh, we laughed about it. We made fun of him all the time. Not always in front of his face, but it was like,
Right.
It's ridiculous. I don't know what, you friggin'.
Yeah.
I said it's embarrassing. I can't even believe I can't even believe he would even say that.
Yeah.
It was embarrassing, big time. But she laughed. The awkwardness went away. She's like, yeah, because her ex-boyfriend would say the same thing. He's like, the only reason Christina and Adam are hanging out with you is because they want a threesome. Because I guess Adam and Vince, the male ego stroking and their little things that they get stuck in their head or whatever, but it's not gonna happen.
So during this whole time, was he talking to you, or was there ever any kind of comments made during the assault that you can recall?
Not particularly, no. I know that he was like, just wake up, you're not that hurt, or whatever, that kind of stuff. And then I know he's like, oh, Jesus Christ. Like, when he really thought that I was really, you could tell he was starting to panic, and then he put the blanket over me. So
Why would he do that? What do you think he did that
I
for?
don't know. I don't know.
Did he think you were dead, or?
Well, that's what I was thinking, but I don't know. I can't read his mind, That's the only logical reason I would see to put a blanket over me.
Did he
But
check
then he
your,
turned. What's that?
Did he check your pulse or anything?
Yeah, he checked my pulse and my breathing.
So he obviously knew that you were.
He knew that I was alive, but I was breathing really shallow.
Oh, okay.
I wanted to scare him. Kind of like, well, you throw me around, you rough me up like that, look what can happen.
And then when you woke up, what happened? What did he say?
What's that? That was when he tried to shove the thing.
Yeah.
It's so embarrassing to even say it.
Well,
but
there's nothing to be
that's when it was like, okay, enough of me just lying here. Now, now I'm pissed. I was like, you're disgusting. I let him have it, of course. I wasn't screaming that loud because I didn't want to wake the baby.
What was he saying?
I don't know. I was seeing red. I basically was just hammering him with whatever, you're out all night. I brought up all the weekends events. The fact that you need to grow up. You're acting like like, you know, you're not being a man, you're being a child. If you want to have your teenage life, going out and partying with your friends all the time and your little threesomes, then you go do that without me. I don't need you. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I'd had it. And he already knew that because we'd had a little argument before. But I tried to just smooth it out. I thought, you know, we'll work it out, because we do have our ups and downs.
Right.
But nothing like this. You don't hit me.
Okay. I'm just gonna check with Kevin and make sure that we've covered mostly everything. I'm sure
Okay.
there might be a couple things that
Yeah,
we've
yeah.
missed that we
Yeah.
need to touch on, but
That's fine.
so just give me 1 second,
Okay.
okay? keep you.
Oh, that's okay.
Just going over a few things here.
Yeah. I also wanted to make sure that you had on record that he has threatened to hurt my family if I ever put him in jail again.
Okay.
Hurt me or my family. He's like,
Okay.
I take it very seriously. He's already beaten my brother up.
Okay.
That's another reason why my family kind of had to separate themselves from everything. It was I had made my choice, and they weren't going to put themselves in harm's way because of my choice. But I need to have that on paper because it's a fear of mine too. My mom's afraid he's going to come and kill me, but that's an emergency nurse talking to. But he's unpredictable, and now he's backed in a corner. Last time he was really, really, really sorry. Like I thought he was going to come and get me, but he was just really, like Eeyore with his head low, But I don't want him to be able to have any kind of contact with me, and like I don't want to ever have him darken my doorstep again. Like there's no way that I will ever have any sort of a relationship with him again. It's over.
Okay. I have lots of things that I have to clarify with you, though. Okay.
That's fine.
One of the things was Isaiah. Sorry,
Yeah,
Isaiah
that's okay.
was supposed to sleep over. You were supposed to get him Friday night, but you
Yeah,
didn't
we
because
always
he was having
get
a sleepover.
Right.
Saturday, did he sleep over?
Yeah.
And then when did he go home? Was he
He
there?
left at he got picked up by his aunt around 8:00. Everything was fine at that point.
At 8:00 at night?
Yeah.
Okay. So he wasn't
We
there.
had dinner and no, he wasn't there when anything happened.
Okay.
No.
Because what's going to happen is I'm going to have to go and I'm going to have to interview all these
Yeah,
people, right?
yeah,
You understand that?
Yeah. No, Isaiah didn't know anything about anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now the matter with Adam, because
He was there.
We're gonna we're gonna have to follow up with Adam.
Oh yeah.
Was there ever any type of relationship that you and Adam had?
Oh God, no, I don't like him. Actually, like I just allow, like, how like you keep your friends close but your enemies closer. I always thought was the big influence on, it was mostly since Vince started hanging out with Adam that he found a drinking buddy.
Oh, okay.
And that
How long have they known each other?
They actually met each other in jail when I sent him to jail the first time for hitting me.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I didn't approve of that whole thing. But he lived 2 doors down and he was under house arrest for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So they just built he lives with his parents, and they built a deck, and it's an elevated deck.
Right.
And once he was out on the new deck, he could see into our yard and he saw Vince.
Oh, okay.
So they recognized each other, and so
Right.
after that they started hanging out, and they've been drinking buddies since then. And that would have been probably, it's been less than a year. It probably was around end of April, beginning of May last year.
Okay.
And Adam, he was under house arrest, but he came over to our house all the time.
Okay.
But
Well, what about?
I had it to a point where I wouldn't let Adam in my house and stuff, but that's when Vince started going out all the time and this and that. So I kind of backed down on my no Adam rule.
Okay. What
Because
about?
I'd rather know what Vince is doing by having him at home than what I mean. And he'd spend stupid amounts of money on the bars and stuff. I'm like, well, if you're gonna do it at home.
What were you drinking that night?
What's that?
Sunday night. What were you guys
Sunday, it was, they had rum. They bought some rum from delivery, and we had a couple of beer and in the fridge. And then there was...
were you guys all drinking the same thing?
Pretty much, but I wasn't drinking as much as they were. Like I had a few, but they
What
power
were you
drink.
drinking?
Oh, same thing. Like there was only a little bit of rum. They poured me a good stiff drink, but it lasted me about like 4 hours,
okay.
like I just nursed it.
Okay.
And then I had a beer, Warsteiner beer, and we didn't have very many of those. I think I had 2 of those. Like this is from 6 till about 2, I guess it must have been 1 or 2. No, maybe not even that late. I don't know.
Okay, so you mentioned that he he's got this new job and he's making good money.
Well, he's doing well, yeah,
Okay.
and it's in a
Where-
field that he likes.
Where is he working?
He's working at it's North Shore Wheel Manufacturing. He's a in-house programmer there.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting work. It's what he loves to do, and like honestly, like I wrote him the cover letter and the resume. He just had to show up to the interview, you know, because he's from Germany. He's not he's good in English. Like he totally understands it and stuff, but he needs like a little bit of help. And I've always been his right hand man.
Okay. Some of the other things that I need to clarify is.
I have marks on my hands too. Like I have scratches on my hands, and I don't know what that's from.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go through a few things
Yeah.
first. The powder object that you're talking about. Was it inserted or wasn't it inserted?
He rammed it. He didn't get it in. No, it was this. It's like a foot powder, like a big giant foot powder thing.
Okay.
It was like bent, you know, like he rammed it hard enough that it didn't stay. Like it's a squishy, you know, like a powder thing, and it kind of went. You know, it was on the floor. I think they took a picture of it and stuff when they came in. I didn't touch it.
And you know, I'm gonna get personal.
I know.
I'm gonna get personal here, and you know, we have to do this.
Like I think I smelled shit.
Okay. All right.
But I'm on my period too, so I had a tampon in.
Okay.
So like I don't know.
Is using objects for sexual?
Oh God, never.
Never.
Like
No?
never, no.
And I mean,
that's why I couldn't even I couldn't believe. I don't know where he picked these things out of the trees.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay.
I don't know if he was just trying to piss me off, or if he really like had it, like if his last little brain cell popped. You know.
Okay. Because of the severity of the complaint that's here today, you know, we have to look at everything.
Yeah, I know.
And I had to look at the responding officers. You know, notes and recollections.
I was
of
pretty
when they were
hysterical
there.
when they got there too.
Yeah, I understand that, but there's a lot of indiscrepancies that I need
to
to go over with you because it doesn't make sense to me.
Okay.
And if it didn't happen, and there's something that you know you want to clarify with me, clarify it now because now is the time to do it. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You're grabbed and you're pulled down the stairs. Now, were your clothes taken off? How were your clothes taken off? Because according to what we have here is that your clothes are ripped off.
Yeah.
And you're thrown to the floor. Okay, well, how does the fall happen? Like it's really hard for me to get a description of how this fall is happening if you're in the middle and then out of the blue, you know,
No, he assaulted me, but he started.
What did
I was
he do
trying
to
get
assault
away.
you?
He was ripping at my clothes, like just like he was attacking me.
What for, though?
I don't know. I was making fun of him for his stupid comments.
How was he attacking you? Like what?
Well, just all of a sudden he started ripping my clothes off, like ripping at my clothes, like trying to, shaking me kind of thing. I was like, it wasn't exactly the best place for it. I don't know why he didn't do it downstairs or whatever, but he did it in the back hallway.
Okay.
And then he ripped at my shirt and it pulled up. And
pulled up?
Well, he pulled it up.
Ripped off.
He ripped it up and it was up like around, I don't know if it wasn't over my face, but it was around my neck.
Okay.
My pants were still on, but I fell and I hit my head a bit and I was scared. I didn't know what else he was going to do. So that's when, and then I also did it like to scare him too.
What about?
But he started ripping, he ripped at my clothes like I don't know how, like he must have grabbed me by like the scruff of my shirt or something, just looking at the rip on my sweater. And that could be where all this came from the sweater ripping against my neck. But he spun me around on the stairs, you know, and went down. And he must have been still holding on to my clothes when I went down. When, you know what I mean?
Okay. So,
and I fell, and then I fell forward because I didn't want to be like, totally prone. I'd rather have like, be kind of down.
Right.
but
So-
then I
so
couldn't
that's
see
how
what
you're
was
saying
going
how
on.
the
Yeah, I'm
marks
pretty
are on
sure,
your
like,
neck?
I'm pretty sure, like, I didn't really look at them too much,
Mhm.
but I know that this is the side, this sweater, or the sweater that I had on, it's all, like, I went to wear it, and it was
Mhm.
all ripped, and it's a
Okay.
good, tough sweater. So
Okay.
he must have, like, grabbed me and whipped me around on that side.
Okay.
But I don't, and the same thing with here, like, trying to rip my shirt off, I think that's what happened there, and my back thing would be maybe from hitting the stairs
Mhm.
when my shirt was pulled up. I think it's rug burn. I'm not really sure, I can't see it.
Where does the choking take place?
He had the choke. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I mean, pardon me. Yeah, he had my sweater was around my neck, and it was like, when I first went down to the ground, he's like, oh yeah, you're down now or whatever. You really want to choke? I'll choke you, like that kind of thing. And I gasped, and he stopped. Yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about the choking.
What do you mean you gasped? Tell
Well,
me
I
about
couldn't
that.
breathe. He had his hands around my throat, and he kind of had the sweater around it too.
Mhm. Did
Forgot
you tell
about
the
that.
officers about that?
I'm not sure. I forgot about that actually. Sorry.
Mhm.
Because that's why I lay there more, because I was scared. It wasn't like he tried to kill me when I was already out or anything like that, but I think it was just, I don't know, he was out of control. I can't put thoughts into his brain. I mean, I can't read his mind.
Now, when the officers are there,
Mm-hmm.
you tell them something different than what you're telling me about the phone calls.
I thought he was calling to get rid of my body. That's what I thought he was doing. But when I saw that he called Amanda, I figured,
Yeah, I know, but what
Like,
you
that
say
was
to
my
the
own-
officers is that you heard him make these phone calls, okay?
yeah.
Making arrangements and asking questions about what to do with the dead body. So where does
Yeah.
that come from?
Well, I
You
thought,
say because you don't hear anything, and then now you know what I mean? That's a big
I
issue
know.
for me.
I know.
And had like an officer, he's pretty precise about
Yeah,
what is said here. So why was
Yeah.
that said? Did you make that up?
I don't know.
Well, we need.
I'm
we
second
need
guess.
to,
I know,
we need to
but I'm
clarify
second
that.
guessing myself.
Now's the time.
No, I know. I'm not trying to. I'm not
No.
trying to dick around here. It's just like when he attacked me last time. I took a knife and I threw it down on the ground, but it was in such a.
Mhm.
It's such a like a whirlwind that I like thought he grabbed the knife.
Okay.
Like, I just want to make sure that I don't say anything more incriminating than he actually did.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I thought. Maybe it was just an assumption. I don't know if I actually heard him, like, on the phone, but he was talking. He was talking.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I don't think
definitely-
he
I
actually said that.
I don't think you did either.
No.
I definitely know
I
that
think I was
things,
just reacting. I
I-
was freaking out, and I didn't mean to, like, lie. You know what I mean? I didn't mean
because some of the things that you said to the officers isn't exactly what you're
Yeah.
telling me today.
Yeah.
So things are a lot different.
Well, I've had time to kind of piece everything together. I was scared at that
Mhm.
point, and I was
Right.
thinking the worst. You know, like what could have happened, and my baby, and all that.
Mhm.
You know,
But you know,
I've had some
when something like that happens, police have to investigate it.
Yeah.
And if it's a false allegation,
Oh yeah.
that's a serious
I know it
offense
is.
where you could be charged for
Yeah,
that.
exactly. So
And-
I don't think he was disposing of a dead body. That's what I thought he
You
was
don't-
doing. I couldn't hear. I
I know
couldn't
you
hear,
don't-
but I heard him on the phone, and I was lying with a blanket over my head in the back
Yeah.
steps.
Yeah, I understand that you're scared in the situation, but to specifically say that you heard him make phone calls to an unknown person, making
I
arrangements
did hear him making.
and asking questions what to do with the dead
Well,
body
he could.
of your estranged
Yeah.
wife. That is so specific
Mm-hmm.
that.
Well, he might have been saying that, like, to me when I was lying there. I don't know if he was actually talking to someone and say, I don't know.
Okay, we have to decide what the truth is and what the truth isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Because bottom line, at the end of the day, this is your opportunity to give us the facts and just the facts, not anything made up.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to find out later that something different happened.
Mm-hmm.
Because this is the time to tell me that what happened exactly in what order and what didn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? And what happened this morning is different from what you're telling me what happened now.
What's that? It's not totally different.
A lot of the important facts that you provided the officer with,
mm-hmm.
you didn't tell me about. You totally brushed them off like they didn't happen. Like the choking
mm-hmm.
and the
I don't know, I guess
disposing of a dead body. This is all. Those are pretty important things
mm-hmm.
that I think would stand out in somebody's mind. And that's all that would stand out in my mind. If that happened to me, oh my God, he wants to get, he's planning to kill me.
Yeah,
what's up?
I'm sorry.
Why did you say those things?
Why did I say that he did that?
Yeah.
Well, he did choke me.
But you're saying a lot more happened to the officers that arrived first than you're telling me right now.
Well, it was fresh in my memory then.
So what's the truth?
I don't know.
Then or now?
I don't know if he was actually talking to someone saying the dead body, but he did utter those words.
But when you initially talked to me, you tell me you don't hear a darn thing. You just hear the phone click and the phone call end.
Yeah, because I'm not sure of that, and I don't want him to get charged with something that he didn't do.
But you've already said it. You've said it, and it's out there.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm left with what's the truth and what's not the truth. Because there's some pretty serious allegations there.
Mm-hmm.
And if they didn't happen, we need to know that.
Mm-hmm. I know. Well, he did choke me.
Is that all that happened? Was that he choked you?
Yeah, but then he did get on the phone, and I'm just trying to think.
I know it's upsetting, but
I know, and I know you're just trying to do your job.
We're just trying to do our job.
I know, and I'm not trying to mess with that. I swear I'm not.
And you know what? I'm not picking on you. I'm totally not picking on you.
It's a lot of stuff to process.
And the fall. Are you sure that the fall happened the way it happened?
No, I know that he attacked me. Like, I didn't just fall down the stairs. It wasn't just I tripped over his feet or something. Like, there was some sort of, like, I don't know if he actually was barging in front of me or if he was trying to start something. I don't know what, like, it was just, it happened so fast.
So
I was just going outside.
So we don't know if, in fact...
I don't know what his intent was at that point.
He intended on that happening.
Exactly.
Because... He thinks that no, that's okay. He says that you're faking it or whatever at the bottom of the stairs, right? Does he say something?
Well, yeah, not really. He checked on me and stuff, but
right.
But then he was like, "Oh, you want to fake it, whatever."
So if he's checking on you, and then you're saying to the officers that he makes the phone call, wanting to know, how to get rid of this body,
mm-hmm.
That's not right.
No, I know.
That's not right, because if he knows you're alive, why would he say that? And how could you hear that if the door was closed? Because when I knocked on the door to come see you,
mm-hmm. You can't hear much.
You can't hear.
Well, I was kind of half in the doorway. He had it closed,
mm-hmm.
but it was like there was enough open. But you can't, like it's a big door. You don't. And he was kind of pacing, like I could hear bits and pieces mm-hmm. when he was talking, and I could hear the phone. Like that's what's sticking in my mind, the sound of the mm-hmm. cell phone makes that audible click when you open it.
Yeah.
So I knew as soon as I heard that he was going to be on the phone, but he didn't stand like over me and talk on the phone. Mm-hmm. He was pacing.
You guys have had so much going on in your life, especially for a new mother who's at home 24/7, been there, done that, know what it's like, cabin fever.
Yeah.
You get
It was a long winter.
and it's not fair when you're the one that's got all of the responsibility for the longest time, and then you'd like a little bit of a break, but you can't get a break because your boyfriend wants to go out and relive his childhood.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I get
you
that.
got all that right.
I get that.
Yeah.
I even pick up on there might be something going on with Amanda.
There might be, but
There
I
might
don't
be
know for a
something.
fact. I've been
There might
trying to
be.
kind
So
of
you guys
figure something out too.
you guys are walking on eggshells around each other because not everything
Oh no,
is,
I've called him on all of it.
not
I tried to
everything
get
is
him to
peachy
tell
keen
me.
though.
No,
He's not talking to you about what's actually going on.
No,
and you're
he's been
suspecting.
hiding stuff from
He's been
me
hiding
lately.
stuff.
Yeah.
And you know that.
Mhm.
So there's problems going on.
Yeah.
You guys are in the stairwell, heading out for a smoke, and for
After
whatever
he said whatever stupid thing he said, you know.
whatever happens to put you at the bottom of the stairs, you fall, and as a result of falling, you want him to say, "Hey, you know what?
Look what can happen."
Look, you want to put a little bit of a scare in.
Yeah,
Right. I get that.
But then he didn't just fall for that and get all concerned and stuff. He like started choking at me and stuff. Like it was
well, now you're telling
not
me that
choking
he's
at
you
no
after.
he was still pulling at my clothes. Like I wasn't I was naked when he went to put the thing under me. I wasn't naked when I fell down the stairs.
No, and we know
like
that.
I don't know. I was scared. I was scared too.
We know that the clothes are.
I was scared.
Yep, totally.
Because he'd already hit me before, but it was just like a quick, and that was it. He pushed me and I hit the wall, and that was it. He's never like
another time, or
I charged him the first time.
So, but he didn't hit you before you fell down the stairs, right?
No.
And why would he do that? Why would he do that with a witness there?
Because Adam, he and Adam are thick as thieves.
Yeah, I know, but Adam, he knows that we're gonna have to talk to Adam.
No, he didn't think I'd ever call the police.
Yeah. But
I
don't think there was an intentional fall, an intentional push to make you go down those stairs. I don't think he would want to hurt you.
I don't think at that specific point, no.
No. And then when it happens and you're there, everything just kind of goes offside.
Right, exactly.
Right? Okay. And
he could have just been saying that to get me or whatever. Like I can't remember. Like this is the thing. I don't know if I put it in my own head or if I'm, like I'm.
You know what though? You hadn't had that much to drink.
No.
And you're not using it. You're not a known drug user.
No, I'm not. I wasn't using any drugs.
So,
no.
I think something like that would stand out distinctly in my mind. I think I would remember that.
I know.
And I would not ever forget that.
Yeah.
Ever.
I know.
Right? So.
Yeah.
Are you saying to me that you're sure that this is what happened?
I'm sure that there was a fall and at the bottom of the stairs, and he I think he was angry with me, and so he thought that if he choked at me or whatever that I would react, but I still lay there. Yeah. You know, I can't explain exactly why it happened and stuff.
Human nature. We do things and we react in different ways. Not everybody reacts.
But then when he did that thing with the powder, that's when I got up and I was rip snorting mad. Yeah. Like that was it. Right. You know, like I'd already almost friggin' broken my neck going down the stairs and whatever.
And you were upset that
I couldn't. Well, the stupid lewd comment about a friggin' hand job. Like, who does he think he's talking to? And then this crap happens, and then so I got mad at him, and
rightly so.
And then we went into the living room, and that's when he started hitting me.
And
you know, it got ugly,
nasty.
Yeah. Well, the bottle thing was nasty enough, but that was it. I was like, I'm not lying here anymore, so to scare him. Now he's got to be scared because I'm pissed. You don't do that to someone. And it's not like we're into that kind of stuff. This is the whole thing. I don't know where he's picking this stuff out of the trees. Doesn't make any sense. Somebody's putting some ideas, you know. That's not me.
So after the fight on the couch, and you said, I'm going to go to bed.
Yeah.
Right?
I'd had enough.
Like, at what point, like, are you saying, like, okay, like, I just want to go to sleep?
No, I was like, I didn't want to like call the police in front of him
Mm-hmm.
because it would have escalated,
Mm-hmm.
and I hadn't decided if I was going to call you or not, to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But when I saw the marks on myself and
When did you see the marks on yourself?
well, I went to the bathroom,
Oh, okay.
and because I'm on my rag, so I changed my tampon, and I went in there, and when I was in there, I looked, and I'm missing like a patch of hair, and
Okay.
I could see the marks all on my face. It was like really welted up and stuff,
Yeah.
and I was in pain, and I went in, and I just saw my baby, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, what's gonna be the difference of me phoning in the morning
Mm-hmm.
when he's at work or phoning now? It's
Mhm.
like I gotta phone now
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't know if he was gonna wake up and I don't know if he would have waken up and continued, but he might have woken up and convinced me not to call. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't want any of this stuff to happen.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing. There's a lot of I told you so's going in a lot of people's minds, you know,
Mm-hmm.
because I did give him a second chance.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll just be 1 second, okay?
Okay.
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 I'm gonna revisit the stair thing.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm going through it over
we've
and
got
over in my
A
head.
couple versions of your story here.
Okay.
One is you think he's trying to walk past you. Does he walk past you and you accidentally fall, or do you
No.
purposely get pulled back onto the
He pulled
stairs?
at me.
pulled
It
at
wasn't an accident. He didn't trip his feet up with me or something.
How do you go down the stairs?
I grabbed at him too. I ripped his jacket.
Okay.
I have that jacket.
But how do you fall down the stairs? Like, how do you?
I flipped around and I I hit the back of my neck, back of my head.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like I was down, like down.
Okay. If I'm going upstairs
I was going up
and
the
I'm getting
stairs.
pulled back.
Well, no, he was like this is. He was. I don't know if he was in front or behind me. Like it's.
Well, you said Adam was in front.
Adam was at the top because his
and
boots
you
were
said
at the
he
top
was
and he was
behind
putting
you
them
and
on.
and you're in the
Yeah,
middle.
I was going up first because Vincent doesn't smoke. I don't know if he like barged in front of me or if he grabbed me and got in front of me. you know, like it happened so fast.
But like, do you like roll down the stairs?
No, I slid on my back.
You slide
And
backwards?
I slid on my back for a bit, and then I went forward. Like I kind of went back and sideways, and then down like this at the bottom, like, and I was like lying kind of with my legs to the side and my face kind of down like this.
Yeah.
That's how I was at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay. And then we're still unclear about, did he grab at your sweater, or did he like, how did he choke you? Like, does he physically choke you, or is he just ripping at your sweater?
He was checking my breathing and my pulse. Mm-hmm. But he was rough. Like it wasn't like he was taking care to see if I was okay.
Okay, but that's
like he was pulling at my shirt. Like my shirt wasn't all the way off, and then it was all the way off. Like he pulled on that, you know, and he was choking me that way.
Oh, okay, but it's
he
not
was
like
choking.
Not like he was going like
no,
this.
I don't have handprints or anything here. No, it was my sweater caught on my neck.
Oh,
like that's how I was choking. He was choking me with my sweater. You know.
So. But your eyes are closed, right? Because you say your eyes are closed the whole time. When you're lying there.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned that he brings you back into.
He dragged me in. Yeah, he knocked some of the paneling off.
How does he drag you in?
By my pants.
What do you got on for pants?
Jogging pants and underwear.
Okay, so you have.
So he pulled me. He's strong.
Totally. You know what? How does he come from behind underneath? Or
no,
did he from your feet?
He kind of grabbed my legs and dragged me in.
So
do you know what I mean? Like he pulled me around and pulled me in. So I was lying in the door. Yeah. The door to the apartment. Uh-huh. But I'm trying to think which way I was facing. He turned me around. See, that doesn't make sense. I don't think he didn't pick me up under my shoulders or anything. He like under my armpits or anything. He just dragged me and kind of twisted me in. But it doesn't. Well, just like it's a small doorway, and I was kind of like right there, Yeah. But he got my legs in and my body in. Like he dragged me in the apartment.
So
I just can't. I don't know.
Your shirt is off when you're getting dragged in, right?
Pretty much. Like it's up over. It's up like it's all. I'm bare.
And what about your pants?
They were still on when I fell down the stairs and everything. Yeah. They might have came down a little bit because they're track pants or whatever.
Right. When you're getting dragged in.
Mm-hmm. I think when he was dragging me in, they came down because he was trying to drag me in.
Like how far down?
They were down around my ankles.
When he was dragging you?
Not when he was dragging me, no. But once, not at the beginning, no. But he was pulling me in. Let me see how that goes. Yeah, he pulled me in by my legs, and the pants pulled down.
Down?
Yeah.
That came down to your ankles?
No, just right below my ass.
Below your ass,
yeah.
Okay. So, do you just leave them there?
Yeah.
But your eyes are closed?
They're closed, yeah, because I didn't know what he was going to do next, and I still didn't think that he'd got a taste enough of his medicine.
So you're mad?
Oh, I was pissed. Pissed. I didn't know how far he was going to go.
What do you mean?
Well, I was interested to see if he would phone the ambulance or something like that.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I would have been concerned.
So what is his next step when he drags you in there? Do you have shoes on?
No. I can't find my other boot. I don't know where it went. I had shoes on when I was going up the stairs. I had my Sorel boots on. But I just had them slipped on when I was going up the stairs. Yeah.
When you get pulled down? Like when you go down?
Yeah. But they weren't on. No, I think they fell off when I came down. They just slide on. Like I wear them to go outside to have a cigarette. They're really loose. They're big slippers, kind of.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
So
I didn't have them all tied up or anything like that.
So he pulls you in, drags you in by your feet.
My pants fell down, and I still didn't react. Like I was still playing unconscious.
Your pants.
They were down below my ass.
What are they made out of?
Oh, jogging suit material, cotton lycra kind of thing.
Do they have
a drawstring?
Yes.
Yeah, but it wasn't tied.
Okay. What about your underwear?
Just regular, like, briefs kind of thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
but were they up or down?
They were kind of, like, it was, I could feel my butt hanging out.
Okay.
But I wasn't, he didn't pull them down to my ankles or anything. You know what I mean?
Okay, so this object, this powder bottle, how does this come into play with your pants up?
Well, no, he must have pulled them down. Like, they must have been down just enough that could be there. Like, my butt was hanging out. Do you know what I mean? Like, I was on my side.
Yeah.
And I still hadn't moved.
So he drags you on your back, though.
Mm.
You're saying he's dragging you on your back.
He, like, kind of on my side, on my back. No, not on my back. He grabbed me by my feet. I was face down. He picked up my feet and he turned me around and he pulled me in the apartment.
On your face?
Kind of, yeah, on my stomach. He never flipped me over. Like, I was never on my back. He pulled me. He just pulled me out of the back hallway.
So how did your pants come down like that?
Because I didn't have them tied up or anything. They were just jogging pants.
So
he must have pulled on the material and they came down.
You were like not on your back and you're on your side and you're getting dragged. One side would come down, but the other side would probably stay up.
He was pulling me in by my legs.
By your leg. Yeah, I know, but when you're dragging.
Yeah.
Visually picture yourself dragging.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're on
and
your
my leg,
side,
and I'm like this, not completely on my side. I'm kind of on my front. Yeah.
Well.
And then he pulled me in, and that was like they came down.
But how do you insert an object with your pants just like that?
I was lying like this, like my feet, my knees were up near my torso. I was lying, not fetal position like this, but kind of like that.
Does he put you in this position?
No, it was the way he threw my legs down and left them there. Like he just, I don't know. That's what happened. Like he dragged me. I didn't get up and move. I didn't fight anything. I just let him drag me.
And you have a tampon in.
Mm-hmm.
So, does he know you have your period?
Yeah.
Okay.
But he doesn't always remember.
Okay. What do you mean?
Well, there's lots of times where he'll say, "Oh, okay, well, let's get it on." I'm like, I'm on the rag. You know that. You know what I mean? Like it's not. It's not something that he totally acknowledges and remembers. It's not his issue. It's my issue. You know what I mean?
But do you remember your pants being pulled off?
Yeah, they came down when he pulled me into the apartment.
Okay, yeah, but let's say they're right to here, because they're not going to come all the way off. You said they only came to here, which is midway.
Well, like here, yeah.
Okay. It would be kind of tough. You'd think that he would need to pull your pants down a little bit more in order to put like something like that in there.
Well, he just came from behind and he shoved it.
So
he might have grabbed. I don't know.
Your pants like
down
they were like, below your butt cheek.
Yeah. He pulled me. Jogging pants, they come down when you don't have them tied. You know what I mean?
I know what jogging pants.
No, I'm not trying to. I'm not.
No. No, I know.
But no, that's. I don't. He didn't like pull my pants off and then shove the thing. He didn't do that. They were down. I don't know why he did it. I don't know why. It was just it shocked me.
What part of you what are you looking at when this is happening?
I had my eyes closed.
But you open your eyes.
I did once he put the thing
right.
there.
What do you see when you open your eyes?
Well, I just got up and he was standing there. Like
I know, but what do you see? He's behind you.
I saw red.
You're on the floor and you're like,
what the hell?
What do you see?
What the hell did you do that for?
What do you see? Where are you lying? What do you see?
He was standing there.
No, he'd have to be behind you.
No, I turned around as soon as.
Before that.
Oh, I didn't see anything. I had my eyes closed. I don't know where.
I don't even know where the powder was. But when an object hits you, you're gonna go.
Yeah, I saw the wall.
You're gonna go.
Yeah, exactly. I saw the wall. I was facing the wall.
Which wall?
The one by not the wall, the door where the door's pushed open.
Yeah.
Over there, like where the high chair usually is.
Okay, the door that.
You know where my table is? Yeah. You know where my table is?
Yeah.
There's a door that we come up and we usually put the high chair there to hold the door open, because that way you get, the lady upstairs controls the heat and it's really hot, so we use that for air.
Okay.
So the high chair hadn't been there because I had just a normal chair there holding it open. You can kind of prop it when the baby's in bed. When she's up, she can move it and it closes the door, and I'm afraid it's going to hit her fingers. Yeah, I was facing the door. Was the door closed, or was it the door that was just propped open? Yeah. I don't know what I saw.
You mentioned something earlier that you thought that you smelled shit.
Yeah.
What?
I thought it was mine from him, from hitting it so hard.
Okay.
Which didn't make that much sense, but I did smell it. Like I didn't have any on me or anything. I don't know, it just, I smelled something. And I went in the bathroom. I didn't have like any blood or anything. Like, he didn't get it in. He rammed it, you know.
The smaller end?
No, the big bottom end. Like, you know, like, that's not going to go anywhere. It doesn't matter if I didn't have 12 kids. I had one.
Was he, like, just throwing it at you?
He shoved it. And I don't know, like, I felt the bottom edge kind of pushing. You know what I mean? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me either.
Because would it be, like, this is a Kleenex box here.
It would be, like, it's foot powder. It's Dr. Scholl's. Yep. It's about this big and about that big around.
Right.
And it wasn't the top end that he shoved. I don't think. Didn't feel like
But you say it bends in half.
Well, it compressed.
How do you know it compressed?
Because I saw it. He dropped it on the ground when I moved. It was on the kitchen floor. Okay. And it buckled. You know, like, it's not a strong. It's a squishy thing.
Yeah. Oh, I know exactly what it is. Did he place the item in your rectum? No, he just shoved it in that area. Because according to the information that was provided to the officers, it was placed in your rectum. No, it wasn't placed. You can't place something like that in my rectum. They wrote that down wrong. He shoved it. It was like a blunt force. There was nothing gingerly done. There wasn't any kind of like, you know, I didn't even want to say anything about it. You know, it was embarrassing. Yeah. I don't know why he did it, you know. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense to me. I know it doesn't make sense to you either, but he's never sexually assaulted me, you know, like, well, he kind of, the last time we got into it, you know, it was a different kind of thing, but no, he's not, like, I don't know where all this perversion just came. Like, I don't know if he was on something. Maybe he took a pill or something. Like, I don't know. I can usually tell if he's just drinking or... and I said to him when they got there, they were really talkative and stuff. And I'm like, what are you guys on? And it wasn't acknowledged. And I didn't feel like pursuing it. But they'd also had like a half a 26 or a rum in them already after, you know, in a quick amount of time. So I don't know. I'm not making up the thing about the Dr. Scholl's foot powder. Like, I would rather that I didn't even say anything about it. You know, it's embarrassing as hell. Yeah. But the way everything else happened is a little bit different. You would agree with me there? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I was hysterical last night. I was scared. I couldn't believe that anything had happened. I was angry with him too. Yeah. And I probably did maybe over exaggerate a couple of things. And I think that's why I didn't want to write my statement at that point. I wanted to kind of just reassess what was going on, because I felt like I was just panicking and thinking the worst and maybe putting, you know, extra details in there. And I don't want him to be persecuted for anything that he didn't do. You know, I'm not spiteful. I'm not trying to make things up to make things worse for him. No. You know,
I want to get the story right, and I feel like it's a little bit mixed up, and I know that you can see that.
Right. But I think the more that you talk to me, the clearer the picture is.
Yeah.
You
I
would
hope
agree,
so.
You would agree with me there,
Yeah.
right? You would agree with me that it may not necessarily have been a push down the stairs. May not be. And it may not be that he obviously intended to hurt you if that happened. Intentionally, right?
Oh, he didn't pick me up and throw me down the stairs.
Right.
No.
And the part about him making phone calls, talking to somebody, trying to dispose of your body.
He might have been saying that, like I don't, I.
Like,
no.
We have capabilities of going and looking at people's phones and
Oh, I know.
reviewing messages and
Right.
and listening to something like that.
Yeah.
And this is a pretty specific statement that the officer said that wouldn't, just wouldn't be there. And now you're saying it didn't happen. Is that correct?
I'm second guessing myself.
Okay. Because this is the chance.
No, I know, but I'm second. I'm not saying that. Like, I don't know if it.
This is your chance. This is your chance to make it right.
Yeah, I know.
Make it right with yourself and your daughter.
Yeah.
And make it right, and not cause us to do
I don't
an unwanted investigation
exactly.
that doesn't need to be done.
Yeah.
Is there something else that I need to know?
Well, about the dead body thing?
Is there anything else that we have talked about that I should maybe
I don't know
if I
don't know if I created that in my head or not. I heard the phone clicking.
But you
I know
But you're mad. Right? You're mad. And
and I'm not totally concentrating on him too. I'm trying to hear if I can hear the baby, and I wasn't just focusing on what was going on there. But no, I don't think he phoned anyone. Like, he might have muttered it out loud or something to say whatever, but I don't think that. Yeah, I don't think he was phoning anyone to get rid of a body.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. Like, it's.
Am I gonna get in trouble for that? Because it wasn't like. It felt like it. I was scared. You know.
I totally. You know what? I'm not.
Like, maybe, I don't know.
I know it's. I appreciate your honesty right now. I would be really ticked off if we left here today and I had to. You had to do it.
Further investigation and found out that there was nothing found in
a
it.
bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Because we want to make sure that we get the right story, as truthful as it can be.
Right.
Okay. We don't want to make anything up, and we don't want to not put anything in there that didn't happen. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else that should be changed that I should be aware of?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think that is there something that you can think of that's an discrepancy?
I don't know. I'm gonna go next door, and I'm gonna let you think about that while I do that. Okay. And I'll be right back. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Anything that you think of?
I don't think so, no.
Okay. I got a couple.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, when you talked about the ripping of your sweater, and you said he was kind of rough with you on the neck and that, and you didn't like that, and you said
he was
checking for
choking
your
at
pulse.
me, yeah.
What do you mean choking at you?
Well, he was pulling at it, and it was choking me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the sweater was tight around your neck.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he was like
no,
that,
no,
right?
he didn't have his hands on me, like physically choking me, but my sweater was all twisted and ripped and, pulling.
Yeah. Okay.
I was choking. He wasn't.
You were choking
the
because
sweater was choking me.
Exactly.
Okay.
And it had to go over your head.
Is that what you want to know? Yeah.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah.
I want to know if he purposely was trying to cut off your breathing.
No. The sweater was choking.
Okay. Another thing too is when we're talking about...
I don't want to talk about that bottle
I
anymore.
have to revisit it, I'm sorry. Another thing... Okay. When your pants come down just below your butt cheek or whatever.
Yeah, they were down, yeah.
Are your underwear down?
Yeah.
Your underwear get pulled down too?
Yeah.
So you have boxer shorts?
No,
underwear.
not boxers. I have like, they were ones that I bought that would fit me when I was pregnant.
Okay, so maternity
Yeah,
underwear?
so, well, not really, just big, giant
Hanes
underwear.
her way.
Yes.
Granny underwear.
Granny undies.
Okay,
Yeah.
everybody has a pair of granny undies. Okay. So, you get your pants pulled down.
Mm-hmm. When he was dragging.
Does he rip your pants off, or do they just come down from the pulling?
They came down from the pulling.
But not because he ripped them off?
I don't think so, no.
Okay.
Like, I can't,
Like,
you know,
you
like
would
when
know.
he was pulling them,
Yeah.
like I could feel my pants slipping and slipping. But
Yeah.
he wasn't, like, he wasn't pulling at my pants
Exactly.
deliberately. Like, he didn't pull my pants
Yeah,
down.
exactly.
No, they came down when he dragged me.
Because, you know, when you're roughing around, maybe you have your daughter on the
Oh, yeah.
change
and
table
they
and you're
start
trying to get your pants
wrestling an alligator.
There's a difference between trying to get the pants off
exactly.
and then
rip it,
dragging
and
and
physically
then
pulling
sliding
them
down.
Yeah.
Okay, so they didn't physically get
He
pulled
didn't pull them down deliberately, no.
Okay.
No.
And, okay, so...
I don't think he did.
I can...
I don't think he did. No, I know. It's just my pants were on a ball on the floor. I don't know if it's what... I can't see... That's what I don't I don't remember him ripping them down.
Okay.
But when I stood up, I was completely naked.
Okay.
Like my sweater, he pulled off. Like that's that.
Yeah.
You understand that part?
Yeah, and the bra.
Mm-hmm. It came off with it. Because it's also a maternity kind of bra. Like,
Yeah.
everything's big for me right
Yeah.
now. I'm trying to get back to normal
Yeah.
size, but I'm not buying new clothes yet.
Exactly.
You know? So anyway, but when I stood up, my pants were, like, I didn't pull my pant. Like, I wouldn't stand up after him doing that and pull my pants off.
Mhm.
I would pull them up if they were down that far. Right? Wouldn't that just make sense? Or I wouldn't take my pants off and go and run in the living room. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. He had to have pulled them down. He had to have before he did that. He had to have.
But you would...
They were in a bowl. They were like in a, you know, when you pull your pants all the way down and you step out of them and they're like a figure 8 on the ground. My underwear and my pants were right there.
But if that was the case, if you
Then
were...
he must have pulled.
But listen to me though. If he was pulling your pants off like that, they wouldn't come off in that kind of shape.
Yeah,
I
know.
They would be...
there would be half a leg and
it wouldn't
be
like
all neat like I
for
took them
somebody
off
to
myself.
actually do that, you'd have to like
Well,
hold
yeah,
on and
that's
take
something
one
you
foot
do
out.
when you get undressed for the shower. Yeah,
Exactly.
I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me.
And that's how your pants were found?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
they were right.
Maybe if we're
I
gonna
don't know.
take a few steps ahead here and see if maybe we'll come to back to that, and that might clarify a few things. When you're
Doesn't make any sense.
When you're lying and you're kind of, you said like maybe in sort of some kind of fetal position.
Semi-fetal, yeah.
Okay. Where do you have this foot powder at your house? Like it's...
Yeah. He has stinky feet. He plays soccer.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So, did you know where it came from? Like, is it in the washroom?
It's usually on the dresser when you first walk in the door. It's right there because I like to put the powder in his shoes after he takes them off so it doesn't stink up the whole hallway.
Oh, okay.
They're bad. He got cheap shoes at Winners that were nice and cheap for indoor soccer.
Right.
The indoor soccer shoes are like $150. Why would he get that when we can just get him a pair at Winners?
Yeah.
But they're not natural fiber, not leather, so they don't breathe.
Okay.
They hold in all the stink.
Yeah. So
it was either on the back. It was either on the dresser by the door, or it wasn't on the kitchen table, or in the shelf right outside the bathroom. But I know I'm pretty sure it would be it was at the back door, like on that dresser.
Okay.
My house is really cluttered. There's lots of us in there.
Yeah. When you are lying there and your eyes are closed, and you open your eyes and you said you see the wall, the door.
Yeah,
how do you know that the object was being rammed? And
I felt it hit me.
Could it be maybe thrown?
No, not and have buckled. That doesn't make any sense. he crammed it. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me either.
Like, was he standing, sitting,
He was behind
kneeling?
me. He must have been down to my level.
Like, I don't know. It's just kind of a weird thing for me.
Yeah, it's
like,
very
was
weird.
Was he just like shoving it at your butt?
Yeah. He shoved it between my legs. Shoved it between my legs.
Yeah, but if you're lying in a fetal position.
Okay.
Yeah, I get.
Oh my
but
God.
your legs are together.
Yeah, well,
right?
one like kind of in front of the other.
Yeah.
You know?
So you don't have to like go down and up. Like it would have to be.
Well, that's why it buckled. I don't know. Like he rammed it. There was no explanation for it. There was like, and it was. And as soon as he did it, I reacted, and it was on the floor. So I knew what it was. Like I felt something. I didn't know it was the foot powder. How would I pick that out of the trees with my eyes closed? You know.
But what do you mean?
Then
It
saw it.
Dropped to the floor, fell to the floor.
It was on the floor.
It was on the floor.
Yeah.
Like on the floor.
Right behind me. On the floor, like in the kitchen.
Was it
behind me? And it was buckled.
It was buckled.
Yeah. Like somebody had crushed like a pop bottle or whatever, you know. But it's soft rubber.
Yeah.
Because it has to squish.
Yep.
I'm not trying.
No, I know.
I'm letting you know.
I've got some myself. I'm just trying to visualize.
Like it kind of caved in on one side, you know.
Yeah. Okay. So you left it there as it was when the police got there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And you're sure that it wouldn't have been an object just thrown at you?
No, it was close range. Like it wasn't. He didn't just whip it at me, like because when I was down. No.
Okay.
No, it was shoved.
Was there anything communicated to you at that time?
No.
Nothing. But this is when rage enters into your head.
Oh, I was like furious.
That's it.
Yeah.
I'm done, right?
Well, first those comments and whatever, and it's like, okay, so he got a taste of his medicine. The game is, Did
you hit him?
No.
You didn't hit him?
No, I didn't.
I would have hit him.
No, I didn't actually.
How could you control yourself?
Because he hits me back.
Well, he hit you anyways.
Yeah, but he would hit me even harder.
Well, he hit you pretty hard on the couch.
Yeah. When I was sitting down.
That's another thing too. When he hit you on the couch,
he did backhands like this and like this.
With each hand?
No, like this and like I don't know. He hit me one side and I turned, and then I turned around and he hit me again on the other side, like here and here.
Open hand, closed hand?
No, back of his hand.
Back of his hand.
Like he's got a hand like this big.
So, I'm sitting here on the couch. This is me.
Mm-hmm.
He's standing over top of.
Yeah, freaking out.
Freaking.
Yeah.
What side of your face gets hit first?
This side.
So your left side gets hit first.
Yeah, he hits me this way.
So you get hit.
And I was like, what the hell, like, what are you doing? And then it hurt.
So he's hitting you like that, and it would come like that, and then you get hit on this side.
Yeah.
Are you saying he switched hands to do that?
No, it was the same hand.
How do you know it was the same hand?
I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
Did you see like a ring on his hand?
He doesn't
or something?
wear rings or anything.
Watch or
No, I know the first, I saw it coming at me, the first one, but then I had my eyes closed and I felt another one.
And
he hit me twice.
Okay. You're mad.
Mm-hmm.
You just had somebody try and ram a freaking powder bottle up your ass. And you don't want to hit him back?
No, I screamed at him.
You never hit him during that whole time?
I don't.
Because you're mad. You're
no,
mad.
I don't think I did.
You go down the stairs. You're at the bottom of the stairs. You're like, you know what? Like, and you're watching to see, like, is he actually?
I threw a glass at him.
You threw a glass at him. Like a glass?
Yeah, wine glass.
When?
When he did that.
When did what?
When he shoved the thing up my butt.
Where was the wine glass?
I swept it all up. There was glass this morning too.
Yeah, but where was the wine glass
that
you grabbed?
At the door. Because he and Adam were drinking homemade wine. No.
Like, what did you do with it?
I threw it at him and I missed him, and it smashed in the kitchen, like near the garbage.
Oh, okay. And your daughter didn't wake up?
No.
You're lucky for you.
I know. Well, it's like he just ran something up there, so I threw something at him.
So you're mad.
Okay. Yeah, I was pissed.
So you do
I did
react.
retaliate, of
You
course.
do
I'm
react.
not like I'm not,
Exactly.
yeah,
You're not a little girl,
exactly.
and you
No, I was
can stand up for yourself.
Exactly. I
Okay?
had enough.
Right.
That was it.
You missed. Did you try and find something else? that
No,
would,
no. Then I ran into the living room
So then you went
because he came at me. He
came
was
at
mad.
you.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
he was
yeah,
mad that I threw a wine glass at him.
Yeah.
But he deserved it as far as
Yeah.
at that point. It
Okay.
was the closest thing. I knew I'd have to clean it up.
Yeah,
you know,
big
like
deal.
whatever.
But-
It's a wine glass.
But he comes at you.
And then I ran into the living room
You
because I
ran
didn't
into
want
the
to go
living room.
towards where the baby was.
Right.
You know.
You go into the living room. What do you do in the living
I
room?
sat on the couch
Why do you sit on the couch?
because there's nowhere else to go.
But why would you sit?
Well, all her toys were all like
Mhm.
on the floor and
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
There was like she
Okay.
had gone. She's like a hurricane.
Yeah.
And she's got like xylophones
Mhm.
and all these things that you can't just run over. And where am I
You
going to
didn't
go
want
to
to pick
the?
up an object to
No,
protect yourself?
no,
No?
no.
So you sit down there. He's mad.
He'd never
He just
actually
had-
hit. Like when he hit me the first time he ever hit me,
Yeah.
it was like almost. It was a drunken, stupid, almost accidental thing. He did come at me, but he was in like a blind drunk thing.
Yeah.
And he pushed me and I hit a door frame. So there was that window of to his benefit that I could actually justify that he didn't particularly mean to do that to me. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
He did now. Like now I can
Yeah.
like in
Before-
hindsight.
That's before. This is
Mhm.
now.
But now I didn't think that he would actually hit me at this point
Okay.
after he already saw like
Mhm.
like after all this crap. I didn't think he'd like continue and actually raise a hand to me. I really didn't.
And you're saying that no communication is going on.
Oh yeah, I was calling him a fucking loser.
Yeah.
And an asshole. And what
Yeah.
the hell are you doing shoving a friggin' powder thing up my ass? What the hell is going on?
What does he say?
I don't know. I was just screaming at him.
You don't
Not
know.
screaming, okay? Screaming to me, it's like a stage whisper scream because I
Yeah.
don't want to
Yeah,
wake
yeah,
up the
yeah.
baby and the neighbors.
yeah.
I don't want to,
So you're still conscious enough
Oh
to
yeah.
understand that,
Oh no, at this point I was completely conscious.
Yeah.
I was rip snorting mad.
yeah, you're mad.
Mhm.
Okay. So when he hits you, you can't tell me whether or not it's with one hand and not the other.
I know.
or
Well, I know it was the back of his hand. I
Both
saw it
sides.
coming.
both times back of the hand?
Second time I didn't see coming because I was still like I was shocked. I reacted and he was
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah.
But that was it. I don't think he hit me again after that. I think it was just the 2 hits to the face.
Does he say something like bitch or?
How
Like-
why? Yeah, he was saying something. I don't know what. I don't. I was thinking about the baby and the neighbors and
Mm-hmm.
everything that had gone up till then. I wasn't taking mental notes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and to revert back to the pants,
But yeah,
I'm a little confused about
Okay.
that.
so
I don't know how that plays out, but somehow,
I think he must have pulled my pants down.
yeah. But if they're the way that you say they are, that wouldn't be the way that they
Yeah,
would look if somebody
I
pulled them
know.
off of you.
This is the thing. I don't. It doesn't make sense to me.
We need to figure that
Yeah,
out.
I know.
That's a very
Because
important.
that's part of the sexual assault.
That's a very
thing,
important point that
Mhm.
we need to clarify.
what the intent was.
Exactly.
If it was an accident or something deliberate.
Mm-hmm.
I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I don't know. Say it's an accident then. I don't know.
Well, I don't want to. You know
I
what?
know. I
I don't want to put words in your
I know.
mouth, and I don't
But
want
I
to
don't-
make something
I
up
don't
for
really
you.
want to pursue that anyway.
What do you mean?
It's embarrassing. I don't know why he shoved it in my friggin' ass. I don't know why he did that. It doesn't make any sense to me. I wouldn't be with like some kind of monster, like I loved him.
Absolutely
He's a good, when he's on the straight and narrow, he's the best thing.
Mm-hmm.
He loves me, he respects me, he friggin' adores me and his daughter and his son. But he gets in these like rampages where he thinks the whole world is against him, and
Mhm.
he's never taken any kind of like
he's never been accountable for his own actions. Everything is always everyone else's fault, you know?
I know lots of people like that.
It's very frustrating.
They're always right.
Always right, exactly. And, yeah.
So do you think this is a situation where the sexual assault was an accident?
I think he was just trying, like, maybe it would have been, like, I don't know why he would do it.
Because obviously he's looking to switch things up a bit. If you're saying that this never goes on, but then he talks about it.
Yeah.
And, you know.
No, I know. Well, you know what? I just kind of, like brushed it off as stupid male
didn't realize
dreams
how
and stuff.
serious it was.
No. When he said to Adam, give her a hand job, I was like, oh, what the, like, you know?
Where's this coming from?
Where the hell is this coming from? Like,
but
it's one thing to say, oh, Amanda's coming over or whatever.
But you can see the pattern there.
Yeah, and he's said stuff when I had my girlfriends over and stuff, you know, and I'm like, you know, don't embarrass me in front of them by being a friggin' pig like that, you know, like we'll laugh about it or whatever, but it's friggin' embarrassing. I don't have them come over, you know. I wait till he's at soccer. Yeah. No, he's been on some sort of a friggin'
So you think that
crap thing?
He was maybe just doing that just to see how you'd react.
Maybe, yeah.
And when he saw that you reacted in a bad way, he's like, I'm not going to change this girl's mind.
Yeah, maybe.
She is, like, so dead against this.
Oh, he should have known when he said, give Adam a hand job. Like,
I know, but you know how people's heads are when they're drinking? They don't always think straight. And, I mean, us as females, you know, we look at things in different ways sometimes than guys.
Yeah,
we don't,
obviously.
You know, we're not.
Thank God.
You know what? We don't always think. Well, you know that.
Yeah. No, I don't.
When you're having feelings and a guy doesn't understand what you're feeling.
Oh yeah. No, I know that I have to vocalize them because he's not going to figure them out on his own.
Yeah. I know. To spell it out.
Exactly.
A to B.
You know. Yeah.
Yes. Dot to dot.
Yeah.
So maybe this was his way of trying to,
as sick as it is, but I mean,
sick as it is.
Yeah.
His way of like, well, let's see if we can have some fun with this.
I don't know.
I mean, obviously.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I don't know. I never saw that sick side of him before.
Yeah.
We don't insert things. Like we have pretty boring sex right now, to tell you the truth. I'm not really happy with my baby body, and missionary is what I look the best at, and it's boring.
But you just had a kid.
And I had abdominal surgery. I've got a C-section scar too, and it's like I want to look my best, and that's the position that it does. Sorry, officer, whatever that you have to hear.
But no.
But
he's thinking, oh, it's some excitement in my life. I'm tired of this freaking
the hand job didn't work. Let's try the talcum powder. Like it's a possibility. No. Don't worry. I'm not taking offense. I'm not. No, it's ridiculous, but it could explain the ludicrous action. Like it was. Yeah. It blew me away. It stopped everything
because
dead
that would
there.
Be a sexual object that.
No, it wasn't. I don't know what
would ever work.
Well, God, no. It's like how, but like, he saw a baby's head come out of there, but that freaking hurt and shrunk right back up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And if it's your rectum.
Yeah, I know, but he just hit me like right there.
Oh, okay.
You know, like I don't think he was
down below. He wasn't.
Yeah, like he wasn't in between. Like he hit me between the legs.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Like he shoved it between my legs, and where it went is where it went, because it's not really gonna go anywhere. It's just gonna push.
Not gonna fit.
Well, God, no.
Yeah. No. Maybe.
That might be a possibility on the internet somewhere, but not in my bedroom. I don't have those physical capabilities.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know if it was some sort of sick, desperate act to. I don't know.
Well, and at the beginning you mentioned, he was acting strange, and you thought he was on something other than, just alcohol.
Yeah.
Because you know the signs.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think we've covered pretty much everything off.
Okay.
I don't know if you feel better, but I feel better knowing that we've kind of work through each step and.
Well, I'm glad that we did it like that, because like last night everything seemed a lot more extreme to me. Like I knew that by calling you guys, that was it. Like my life is never going to be the same, but it can probably be better. You know what I mean? Like it has been a slippery slope down, and I've lowered my standards in the last little while because I did want to give him a chance to work things out. But if he gets violent towards me, it can't happen.
Yeah, and there's not just you to worry about anymore.
Well, exactly. That too. Exactly. Right? Yeah.
Okay. Just give me 1 sec, okay?
Yeah, I don't forget about Michaela at all. Don't worry about that.
Okay. I'm not going to leave and come back anymore because I think I've covered everything off.
Okay.
So, did you have something to say?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, I just have something to read on the form here. You know that what you've told us has been under oath. Is there anything that you want to change?
I'm thinking the wine glass that I threw at him. It might have been before we went up the stairs.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Because like wasn't until like I threw a wine. No. I'm just. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
I'm just. Like I cleaned the wine glass up after I called the police. Like I didn't clean it up right away. Yeah, it was. I don't know. I did throw a wine glass at him.
Okay. I just have to write that down.
Okay. I threw a wine glass at him, but I don't know, like, exactly.
The sequence?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is that a big
No.
thing? No, okay.
Is there anything else that we should know to understand your statement fully?
No.
I think we're good. It off, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to conclude the interview. It's about almost 10 to 2.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, we've been here for a while. Told you we're going to get up close and personal.
Yeah.
Oops. 15:50. So we can, this is the end of the interview.